Well, I wanted to share the new export inspection numbers with you, and it didn't turn out to be too much of a big market mover the way it looks. On the corn, let's take a look here. This past week, we shipped out 617,740 tons of corn. That compares to the week before 678,024, so a little bit light there and not a big change. Sorghum jumped all the way up to 112,000 tons, though, compared to a little over 3,000 tons a week ago. So that tends to jump up and down in big amounts. Soybeans, 682,155. That compares to 680,370 last week, so about the same. And the wheat, 406,386. Last week was 382,371. So a little bit of an improvement in the wheat export inspections this past week, a little bit of a decline in the corn, and the soybeans were about identical. I want to welcome to the show Todd Bob Horowitz of BubbaTrading.com, and he's in that Chicago area there. Todd, I want to get your thought on what's going on in the grain trade here. A bit of a lift here in the grain market so far today.
They look okay, and good morning, Marlon. They look okay. I mean, they were a little bit lower, and now they're popping a little bit higher. You know, again, I think we're going much higher, but I would suspect that there's going to be a little bit of a pullback coming here. You know, any day now, I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, corn down 8 to 10 and wheat down, you know, 10 to 15 and soybeans down. But again, overall, I think the picture looks very good, very clear, and it looks like we're going significantly higher. I still think there's an outside chance that we have a big market, and we can see, you know, a potential 5 handle in front of corn and a 6 handle in front of wheat and a 10 to 11 handle in front of soybeans. So I think things look really good, but today is just really quiet. There's not a lot going on.
So did I understand correctly that the latest Commitment of Traders report has the funds net long on the corn but net short on soybeans?
Well, that sounds like what they've got. And of course, that's why you see that soybeans have held a little bit more pressure. But again, I think the same thing is going to happen to them that typically happens. And they're going to try to overdo it into a very quiet market. And we're going to see that turnaround, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next week or two when we talk that position is reversed as well, because again, you know, when you're trying to force these dull markets in a direction, you usually end up with egg on your face.
All right. I also understand that in China, they have an unusual development when it comes to the corn. Of course, we've been talking about all the ASF issues. They have armyworm infestations getting into their corn crop for the first time in a long time, if not ever, and it sounds like those critters are pretty voracious over there. They're kind of concerned about a big yield drop there.
You know, it's amazing. They've got troubles in hogs, they got trouble in corn, and yet, you know, our prices are still fairly steady, so there's not a major panic saying, oh my God, we got to, you know, continue to buy this up. I think we'll see continued rise in price, and of course, we still have the, you know, the highest quality, the best product. So I consider this continue to move higher, but slowly. But of course, I still would look for that pullback first. And really, what happens over there has already been priced into our market over here.
Okay, let's look at the corn. Where are we right now? Well, on the corn, we'll start with that September contract. July goes into delivery this Friday. September up a nickel at 452.5. December up 5 1/4 now. In the soybean trade, well, we have the August contract now up 6 3/4 at 915 1/4. It's kind of holding serve right there. And November is up 6 at 933.5. In the wheat trade, we're gaining a little momentum now. We have July Chicago wheat up 9 3/4. September up 8 3/4 now at 539.5. In the Kansas City market, we have that September contract up 10 3/4. Now it's at 475 1/4. A lot of hail damage in the southern plains over the weekend. Minneapolis wheat right now, you have that September contract now up 4 at 548 per bushel. We'll come back in a moment, and we'll talk more with Todd Bubba Horowitz of BubbaTrading.com when we come back. We're talking with Todd Bubba Horowitz of BubbaTrading.com in Chicago, and we're going to take a look at our livestock trade. Todd, let's take a look, first of all, at our live cattle trade and get everybody updated there. We have the trade a little bit firmer on the nearby contracts, but not on the deferreds, so that's a little bit intriguing. We have the August 25 higher at 102.47, but you have October down 18. We're at 103.97, and December down 13 cents. Meanwhile, the feeder cattle, they continue under pressure here today. We have the August down 98 at 132.70 and September 83 lower at 133.22. Lean hogs continuing their follow-through selling from Friday, and we have August down $1.65 at 76.25. October down $1.70 at 71.03. You have some new information here I want to share. It's our new cutout values too for the beef and the pork. And so on the beef side, the choice cuts were up 27 cents this morning. Selects were up 79 cents, so a little positive factor there. On the pork side, you had the carcass values up 73 cents this morning, and the loins were down 2.08. Hams were up $1.09. Bellies were up 6.97, but it doesn't seem to be helping the futures whatsoever today.
Well, Marlon, I'll tell you, you look at the futures, and we wrote over the weekend that there was some key support, and Friday broke down, and today it's continuing. I think hogs have a lot of room to go on the downside, but on the other side of the coin, I think that cattle is trying to figure out and find a bottom, both fats and feeders. Fats, I think, a little bit better off and a little bit stronger. But as long as they can hold in these levels without getting a major league beatdown from here, I think that they'll probably have bottoms and we'll start to see some higher movement. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see some steady movement before we start to move higher. The big key here is that they've got to hold these lows that they put in and not violate and make new lows. Otherwise, there could be trouble there. And that's, that is showing up a little bit in that backwardation when you start to look at, fat cattle higher in August, lower in October. So that's not a very bullish sign.
And we have had a lower trend in the cash cattle and the cash hogs, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty much, I guess, ugly all the way across the board if you want to look at it. I mean, it's just been, we've been so quiet and so slow, and basically, typically in commodities in general, slow markets indicate there's going to be more sellers. That's really usually the path of least resistance. Now, I'd expect that to change quickly, and again, we're watching these levels extremely close, but again, it has been, rather painful.
Well, it would be wonderful if there would be a big magic wand and all of a sudden there's some trade agreement, at least a handshake this Friday between President Trump and President Xi of China. But, that's asking for a lot, I'm sure. But anyway, thanks for talking with us, Todd. Always good to visit with you, and we'll talk with you again soon.
Thank
Todd Bob Horowitz of BubbaTrading.com there in Chicago.
You couldn't tell, though, with that beautiful background he has behind him. We love Todd Bob Horowitz.
Fair weather background.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much, Marlon.